Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But
it's so hard to tell, to be honest. He's a big dude. He's a good fighter.
The MMA world is going crazy. Colby Covington just dropped a bomb about Islam Makhachev's next fight. He thinks Jack Della Maddalena will destroy Islam's winning streak. But is Colby right? Or is he just trying to stir up drama? Dana White just revealed something huge about this fight. He says Islam versus JDM isn't just another match, it's a war between two unstoppable forces. Both guys have crazy winning streaks, and they're meeting at Madison Square Garden. Dana called it the fight that could change everything in the welterweight division.
The main event, UFC welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he takes on former UFC. Makhachev was #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world in 23, 24, and 25. Cleaned out that division, and he has decided to take his 15-fight win streak and move up to attempt to become one of a few fighters in UFC history to win belts in 2 different divisions. Della Maddalena has won 18 fights in a row, just beat Bilal Muhammad for the welterweight title. This is literally the definition of a super fight. So that's the main event. Champion versus champion, Madison Square Garden.
But here's where it gets interesting. Colby Covington didn't just make random predictions, he broke down exactly why Islam might lose. He talked about size, wrestling, and JDM's knockout power. The betting odds still favor Islam, but Colby sees something others don't. What does he know that we don't?
it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Plot twist. Sean Brady just gave his pick, and it's personal. He wants to fight Islam next, so he's watching this fight like a hawk. Brady admits JDM is the underdog, but he sees something dangerous in Jack's striking. When fighters study each other this closely, they notice things fans miss.
Selfishly, for me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing. And I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the underdog, I would pick Jack.
Now here's the real problem Islam might face. Ben Vickers dropped some truth bombs about weight changes. Islam has never fought someone this dangerous at welterweight. Moving up in weight isn't just about cutting less, it changes everything about how you fight.
It's so hard to tell, to be honest. He's a big dude. He's a good fighter, Jack's bigger. Jack's probably stronger. He's got more power on the feet. But I don't know what kind of fighter he's going to be. What I do know is that it's, as a fighter who's fought at 70 his whole career, this is going to be his first time in a very competitive matchup at welterweight, and it's different. It's a different, it's going to be different for him. He's carrying more weight, and obviously he's had months now to prepare for this and get used to carrying the weight, but he's been fighting at lightweight for a decade. So to then move up a weight class, it is different. And I don't know how that's going to affect his gas tank, his ability to move as well.
Vickers kept going and revealed something scary. Weight cuts mess with your body in ways you can't predict. Some fighters feel stronger, others feel slower. JDM already lives at welterweight, he's comfortable, he's fast, and he hits hard. Islam? He's the visitor in this weight class.
So to then move up a weight class, it is different. And I don't know how that's going to affect his gas tank, his ability to move as well. People say that he's not going to have to cut as much weight, so he'll be better. But then sometimes carrying extra weight can be hard. You always want to try and have the fight, or we always try and have the fight at the weight we train at. So Jack will rehydrate to the weight he's been in the room training at most of the time. So he's very familiar with that weight and managing the energy systems at that weight. So that's what Islam's got to work out at the weight class. But, I expect an extremely good version of Islam. And yeah, I'm not sort of concerned about the weight. I don't think it's going to be a problem for Islam, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for Jack.
Michael Bisping just shook things up even more. The former champ sees big problems for Islam. He says JDM's boxing is cleaner, his footwork is sharper, and his striking could be the key to victory. Bisping even mentioned how JDM handled Bilal Muhammad, and that should worry Islam's team.
Look forward to it, but I'll tell you what, Jack Della Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns. On the feet, there's absolutely no question. Islam has improved with his striking, that's for sure. You can't deny that. Did pretty good on the feet against Dustin Poirier at times. However, that was probably because of the threat of the takedown. But Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. And the footwork that he gets from the boxing is so useful to avoid the takedowns and to stay off the fence. That was crucial against Bilal Muhammad, and even when he was pushed up against the fence.
But wait, there's more. Bisping looked at the betting odds and found something interesting. Islam is still the favorite, but the gap isn't as big as people think. When odds are closer than expected, upsets happen. Bisping thinks JDM could shock the world and become the new champion.
Crucial against Bilal Muhammad, and even when he was pushed up against the fence, he was able to stop the takedowns. Remember, Leon Edwards was able to stop all the takedowns from Kamaru Usman. He couldn't stop the takedowns from Bilal Muhammad. And Jack Della Maddalena had no issue whatsoever. So it's crazy because right now they have, I think, Jack Della Maddalena, I was going to look at the odds, it's gone off. According to DraftKings Sportsbook right now, Islam Makhachev is a pretty sizable favourite. So if you want to put some money on that right now, that might not be a bad idea, because it wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion at the end of the day.
Here's where it gets really interesting. JDM's coach Ben Vickers admits he used to just admire Islam like a fan, but now he's studying Islam like a predator studies prey. He's found weaknesses that nobody talks about. What did he discover?
I kind of veer the other way. And I feel like people put Islam on a pedestal. And don't get me wrong, I am not doubting Islam's credentials in the slightest. He is pound for pound number one. He's the GOAT. He's the best guy to have ever done it for me. But for me now, it's the first time watching footage of Islam and not just enjoying watching him fight, and actually looking at where can we take advantage of some of the weaknesses that we perceive, some of the best spots where the opportunities arise.
Vickers won't tell us the details, but he's confident for a reason. He found patterns in Islam's game, habits that can be exploited. He won't reveal his secrets, but he's certain JDM has the tools to win. When a coach switches from fan mode to hunter mode, that's when upsets happen.
Some of the best spots where the opportunities arise, and I've seen a lot that I like, that I can work with, having now actually taken an analytical approach to watching Islam rather than just enjoying him, watching him waste people, you know? So I think it's more the other way around. I think you could rephrase the question and what are Islam's weaknesses, as opposed to what everyone thinks, you know? That's the way I look at it. I'm not going to go into that, but I do see things there that we're working on, that we're trying to capitalize upon. And although he's an amazing fighter, I think Jack's better.
The experts are split. Combat Kings just released their breakdown, and they're asking the same questions we are. Can Islam handle JDM's power? Will the weight change hurt him? How good is Jack's takedown defense really? The answers could determine who wins this fight.
So we've got Makhachev versus JDM.
Hey, that's going to be a good card, man.
Yeah,
Looking
man.
forward to that one already still. They ended it, I can't lie, the UFC started off badly this year, but it's come back. Like the second half of this year for the UFC's been proper still.
Proper. He has to shout them out for that, for real.
Yeah.
Can he get the job done? I think he can, but I think he's going to struggle. I think he's going to struggle more than he did in Dustin Poirier's fight, which he still got the job done and got a finish wicked, but he had moments in there.
If the fight's anything like that fight, he'll lose. Because going up in weight class, JDM packs more power. Like, if the fight is anything like that, I think Islam's in for a beating still. Can't lie. I don't think it's going to go down like that. Bro, I'm telling you, I know that you man are rating JDM's takedown defense after the Bilal fight, but it's not that good, bro.
Luke Thomas sees something different. He thinks both fighters have improved since their last big tests. JDM looked better against Bilal, and Islam stays sharp and hard to hit. But here's the catch. Improvement means nothing if you can't handle the pressure when it matters most.
See what happens. Getting back to the fight itself, an absolutely sensational fight, the right one to make. listen, we all want to see Islam versus Ilya. I don't know what this fight will do or not for it. Again, we don't have any outcome yet, obviously, but this is a sensational contest. JDM looks to me massively improved. We talked about the issues heading into the fight with Belal Muhammad, where he had second order get up ability, but he didn't have great down blocking, meeting takedowns. When your opponent makes contact with you, greeting them at the point of contact with defense, and he got way better about it. Plus his get-ups also got a lot better. And if you actually listen to his coach on Submission Radio,
Thomas pointed out something huge about JDM's evolution. His grappling defense isn't just better, it's elite level now. He's been training with Craig Jones, one of the best grapplers alive. When underdogs upgrade their biggest weakness, champions should be worried.
Also got a lot better. And if you actually listen to his coach on Submission Radio, what he says is they only worked with Craig Jones for a few weeks last time. Now they're going to get him for basically the entire camp. Dude, JDM is a formidable talent that Islam is going up against. However, Islam, whose career is not blemish-free, but in general has proven, and especially in this more senior role, to just make excellent decisions, defensively sound everywhere, doesn't get hit clean. I mean, again, obviously he's got that one loss, but in general, what the record shows that he doesn't get hit super clean. We don't know how he's going to adjust to 70 pounds.
The big question remains. How will Islam adapt? He's smart and disciplined, but JDM is bigger, stronger, and more comfortable at this weight. Thomas thinks fans need to watch how each fighter adjusts during the fight. The first person to solve the puzzle wins.
170 pounds, given he's moving up, he did have some problems, not making weight, but like what the weight cut did to him in order to make 55. So it'll be very curious to see what the size differential is, such that there is one. It'll be very curious to see what the added bulk does for Islam, what the lesser weight cut does for Islam. These are things we don't know, but it's going to be really, really interesting to pay attention to. And of course, you know, JDM has pure better striking than Islam. About that, there's no question. But we saw that in the Poirier fight to the extent that the Makhachev opponents can be influenced by wrestling itself or wrestling threats.
Daniel Cormier just dropped the biggest revelation yet. He's seen Islam training, and the lightweight champ is huge now. DC said Islam looks like a different person, bigger, stronger, ready for war. But here's what's scary. And if you've seen videos and pictures of Islam lately, he's bigger, he's much bigger than he was before, and he's going to have to be bigger if he wants to get through the monster that is Jack Della Maddalena. Further, he added, you know what's the best thing about watching this fight come together is recognizing how seriously they are. They know the challenge ahead of Islam. But DC revealed something even more important. Islam and Khabib know how dangerous JDM is. They're not taking this lightly. DC explained why this level of respect means the fight could go either way. He said, I can listen to the words that Khabib speaks publicly. You can listen to the words that Islam speaks publicly and acknowledge that those guys are well aware of how good Jack Della Maddalena is. He's so tough, he's so big, he's so physical, and now he's got takedown defense to match. Ben Vickers revealed JDM's secret weapon, his gas tank and finishing ability. Jack can hurt you in round 1 or round 5. His cardio against Belal proved he can maintain power deep into fights. When you combine endless cardio with knockout power, you get a nightmare matchup for anyone.
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute. It could happen in the 24th minute. It could happen in the 24 minute, 59 seconds. It could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights. You know, he likes to be in there. But obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best like cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Belal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So you know, Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight. I really do.
The MMA guru made a bold prediction that's got everyone talking. He thinks JDM will push Islam backwards and control the fight's pace. If Islam can't get respect on the feet, he can't set up takedowns. Guru believes JDM's pressure will break Islam's game plan completely.
I think Islam versus JDM will go. I think Islam needs to earn respect on the feet to get the takedown, to use the clinch. I don't think he can get respect. Chat, can Makhachev hit JDM with something that he's going to fear? I really don't think Makhachev can back JDM up in order to get takedowns on him the way that he needs to. He's going to have to like really like savantly get the takedown into a back take, into something like that. I really don't see it. I think JDM can move forward against Islam Makhachev without much fear. You know, I don't see Makhachev catching him in a counter. So I got JDM. I haven't felt this confident about an underdog in a long time since JDM fought Belal Muhammad.
Guru went even further with his analysis. He compared Islam to guys like Belal and Dustin Poirier, then asked, what happens when you face bigger, stronger versions of them? He's questioning if Islam can handle elite grapplers with serious size advantages.
They don't know the sport, yeah, they really don't. They're just inbreds. I actually think Islam, but I hope he loses just to watch him cope and cry. Makhachev could beat JDM. It's an absolutely fine take, but man, I can't help but think JDM's just going to walk him down. I can't see Makhachev backing him up. I think he's going to be at range, and eventually as we get into the fight, JDM will just start pushing him backwards, drawing the shots out more obviously. And since JDM stopped jumping gillies, man, takedown defense elite. Islam will beat JDM, and in a couple years, we will wonder how he was even a champion. Welterweight, you know Islam is way bigger out of camp. 190 versus 215. 190 versus 215. How would JDM handle a version 2 of Belal? Actual solid point, please. You think he's a V2 Belal, though? Belal has arguably proved more grappling dominance in terms of control and being able to physically manipulate larger men than Makhachev has, bruv. Poirier has a false hip. How is Makhachev going to handle a Poirier V2? That's what I want to know. How's Makhachev, forget V2 this, how's Makhachev going to handle a Poirier with 2 working hips and not a false blade joint hip attached to him? That's what I want to know.
The stage is set for chaos. Islam's unbeaten streak meets JDM's knockout power. Experts are split, coaches see weaknesses, and the odds are closer than expected. Both fighters are preparing for the fight of their lives, but only one can walk away victorious. Who wins this insane matchup? Can Islam survive his toughest test yet, or will JDM shock the world and end the hype? Drop your predictions below.